Silence. All stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh, give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Emma Catherine Adabo.
May it please the court, I move that Emma Catherine Adabo be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Catherine Adabo be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Saba Ahmadi.
May it please the court, I move that Saba Ahmadi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Saba Ahmadi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Charlotte Elizabeth Anderson.
May it please the court, I move that Charlotte Elizabeth Anderson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Charlotte Elizabeth Anderson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kylie Heather Barrett.
May it please the court, I move that Kylie Heather Barrett be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kylie Heather Barrett be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Eugene Choi.
May it please the court, I move that Eugene Choi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Eugene Choi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kaylee Ann Cuthbertson.
May it please the court, I move that Kaylee Ann Cuthbertson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kaylee Ann Cuthbertson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Rianne Ding.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Renan Ding be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anna Renan Ding be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Vivian Michelle Dior.
May it please the court, I move that Vivienne Michelle Dior be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Vivian Michelle Dior be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephanie Kate Everson.
May it please the court, I move that Stephanie Kate Everson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stephanie Kate Everson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Taylor Margaret Finnegan.
May it please the court, I move that Taylor Margaret Finnegan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Taylor Margaret Finnegan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ka Yu Andrea Fung.
I move that my daughter, Gayu Andrea Fong, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ka Yu Andrea Fong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hussein Jamal Goroshi.
May it please the court, I move that Hussein Jamal Gorashi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Hussein Jamal Garashi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mark David Hardy.
May it please the court, I move that Mark David Hardy be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mark David Hardy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tallis Michael Hayden.
May it please the court, I move that Tallis Michael Hayden be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tallis Michael Hayden be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jessica Samantha Hoy.
May it please the court, I move that Jessica Samantha Hoy be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jessica Samantha Hoy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nicholas Joseph Iacoviti.
May it please the court, I move that Nicholas Joseph Iacoviti be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nicholas Joseph Iacoviti be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Angela Marie Iveli.
May it please the court, I move that Angela Marie Iveli be admitted as a member of this honourable court.
Let Angela Marie Iveli be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cherie Yuru Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Cherie Yuru Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Cherie Yuru Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ellie Lin Yongma.
May it please the court, I move that Ellie Lin Yongma be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Ellie Lynn Youngma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jae Young Kim.
May it please the court, I move that Jae Kim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jae Young Kim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madeleine Kruger.
May it please the court, I move that Madeleine Kruger be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Madeleine Kruger be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
John Laporis.
May it please the court, I move that John Laporis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That John Laporis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Susanna May.
May it please the court, I move that Susanna May be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Susanna May be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ryan Jesse McCarthy.
May it please the court, I move that Ryan Jesse McCarthy be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Ryan Jesse McCarthy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Aya Mackenzie.
May it please the court, I move that Aya Mackenzie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Aya Mackenzie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jake Peter Mitchell.
May it please the court, I move that Jake Peter Mitchell be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jake Peter Mitchell be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cynthia New Wen Win.
May it please the court, I move that Cynthia Wing be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Cynthia Newen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Emma Casey O'Toole.
May it please the court, I move that Emma Casey O'Toole be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Casey O'Toole be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Somya Padkey.
May it please the court, I move that Somya Padkey be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Somya Patki be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kaunya Paskaran.
May it please the court, I move that Karunya Paskaran be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Karunya Paskaran be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Thomas John Patterson.
May it please the court, I move that my brother, Thomas John Pattinson, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Thomas John Pattinson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joshua William Pio Pereira.
May it please the court, I move that Joshua William Pio Pereira be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Joshua William Pio Pereira be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kiralee Poyle.
May it please the court, I move that Kiralee Poyle be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kiralee Poyle be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Emma Rose Pomfret.
May it please the court, I move that Emma Rose Pomfret be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Rose Pomfret be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shajia Quinn.
May it please the court, I move that Shijia Shin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shia Chin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ruvanedu Rathna Yaku.
May it please the court, I move that Ruvanindu Ratanaika be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ruvanindu Ratnaika be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amy Jane Reinhardt.
May it please the court, I move that Amy Jane Reinhardt be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amy Jane Reinhardt be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Arnath Pravanan Sakarav.
May it please the court, I move that Arnath Pranavan Srikanth be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Arnath Pranavan Srikanth be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isaac William Carter Stewart.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Isaac William Carter Stewart, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isaac William Carter Stewart be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jessica Toma.
May it please the court, I move that Jessica Toma be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jessica Toma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Garode Towie.
May it please the court, I move that Garrard Tony be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Garrard Towie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Charlotte Lucy Windia Ward.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter,
Charlotte Lucy Windia Ward be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Charlotte Lucy Windia Ward be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lydia Magdalena Wimla-Taranen.
May it please the court, I move that Lydia Magdalena Wimalaratna be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lydia Magdalena Wimala-Ratna be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Benjamin Anthony Woodward.
May it please the court, I move that Benjamin Anthony Woodward be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Benjamin Anthony Woodward be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Arlene Yapujian.
May it please the court, I move that Arlene Yapujian be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Arlene Yapujian be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yixing Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Yixin Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Yixing Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jingru Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Jingru Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jingru Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court. It will now be necessary for those whose admission has just been moved to stand when and as directed by Mr. Rishnikov for the purposes of swearing an oath or making a declaration and affirmation. So please stand when and as directed by our officiating officer.
Would the first and second rows please stand? Emma Catherine Abdaho, Saba Amadi, Charlotte Elizabeth Anderson, Kylie Heather Barrett, Eugene Choi, Kaylee Ann Cuthbertson, Anna Brianna Ding, Vivian Michelle Dior, Stephanie Kate Everson, Taylor Margaret Finnegan, Kayu Andrea Fung, Hussein Jamal Garashi, Mark David Hardy, Tallis Michael Hayden, Jessica Samantha Hoy, Nicholas Joseph Iacoviti. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Will you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
So help me God.
Thank you. Please be seated. If the third and fourth rows could please stand. Angela Marie Iveli, Sherry Yuri Zhang, Ellie Lin Yongma, Jae Young Kim, Madeleine Kruger, John Laporis, Susanna May, Ryan Jesse McCarthy, Aya Mackenzie, Jake Peter Mitchell, Cynthia New Wen Win, Emma Casey O'Toole, Somya Padkey, Karunya Haskaran, Thomas John Patterson, Joshua William Pio Pereira, Kiralee Hoyle, Emma Rose Pomfret. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administrations of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Will you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
So help me God.
Thank you. Please be seated. Would the fifth row please stand in front of me, please? Shajia Quinn Ruvanadu Rathnako, Amy John Reinhardt, Arnath Pranavan Shrikanth, Isaac William Carter Stewart, Jessica Toma, Garode Towie, Charlotte Lucy Windia Ward, Lydia Magdalena Wimana, Benjamin Anthony Woodward, Aileen Yapuyan, Yixin Zhang, Jinru Zhang. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administrations of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your skill and ability. Please say, "So help me God," or "I do."
So help me God.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court, the ceremonial court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench this afternoon to my right is Her Honour Justice Huggett, Judge of the Supreme Court and also Chief Judge of the District Court of New South Wales. To my left, Justice Weinstein. To Justice Huggett's right, Justice Sweeney. To Justice Weinstein's left, Associate Justice Harrison. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you to practice this afternoon. We have done so in this court, which rests on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, and the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I also wish to acknowledge, and am delighted to do so, that sitting with us on the bench today, to my far left, is His Honour Judge Warwick Hunt of the District Court of New South Wales, and I'm, as I say, delighted that he's been able to join us this afternoon. I also acknowledge in the body of the court the Honourable Bill Windia, AM, formerly a Judge of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Well, to all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one of great celebration. We up here know, we can remember, how hard you all had to work to reach this important milestone. I'm also pleased to welcome all of those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, I'm sure the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on the journey thus far. For many of them, the endurance of your finely polished or emerging skills of argument and persuasion may now be at an end, or maybe not. But whatever be the case, I'm sure that they are all immensely proud of you, and I encourage you to take the time to thank them this afternoon. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you might even convince them to shout you a round of drinks or a dinner to celebrate this milestone. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an old honourable profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. And this court first admitted lawyers in 1824. Therefore, it was last Friday that this court, to which you have just been admitted, celebrated its 200th anniversary. It is, you might be surprised to learn, one of the oldest continuing courts in the world. That is something of which we, and I hope now you, are immensely proud. We had a great celebration last Friday, and a ceremonial sitting in this courtroom was overflowing. Some significant speeches were delivered, and a YouTube video of the ceremony is available on the court's website, and I'd urge you to take the time to watch it. You are also a very fortunate cohort, because after this ceremony, when you move to the lobby of the court to sign the roll and receive your practicing certificate or your certificate of admission, you'll also be presented with a copy of the court's recently published bicentenary history entitled Constant Guardian Changing Times, the Supreme Court of New South Wales 1824 to 2024, as a memento of the fact that you were admitted in the bicentennial year. It's only 450 pages, but there are lots of coloured illustrations, and I do sincerely hope you take time to read it and enjoy it. It has a wealth of fascinating information about the court of which each of you has just become an officer. Now, in celebrating the court's bicentenary, we also celebrate 200 years of the rule of law in New South Wales, about which I will say something more shortly. This ceremony is attended by certain unique but important formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by someone who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have each made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers and before senior judges of the court. They and we are all therefore witnesses to the serious promises and undertakings that you have just made. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation you have just made is a serious one, is a continuing one, and deserves solemn regard. So whether you end up working in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law office, the Aboriginal Legal Service for legal aid, for a regulator or a government department or agency, or indeed in an entirely different field, you should always be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and you must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. Now, you will see from some of the portraits of former Chief Justices which hang on the walls of this court that we are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. And you may be wondering why, after 200 years, we still wear these robes on ceremonial occasions such as this. I can tell you we don't do so because they are particularly comfortable. They're not. But we do so for two important symbolic reasons. First, they serve to highlight the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although importantly, the judges wearing those robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. Some 45% of all judicial officers in New South Wales are now female. That is a radical change from the time I commenced practice, which I like to think was not that long ago, but it has been an extremely salutary change. The second symbolic reason for continuing to wear these robes on ceremonial occasions is because it serves to emphasise that the judiciary is a separate arm of government, to differentiate the judiciary from the other branches of government, because an independent judiciary is what keeps an executive, the exercise of executive power and the abuse of public power in check. I've spoken about the importance of the rule of law and the continuity, emphasising the continuity of the rule of law. We live in a world, of course, where there is so much, at the moment, global uncertainty and insecurity, and the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply some academic construct or a phrase of some mere theoretical import. At its simplest, the rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. As we survey the globe, there is nothing theoretical about those threats and realities. In a speech delivered in 2018, Lord Hodge of the United Kingdom Supreme Court aptly described the rule of law as, and I quote, a bastion against those who would use chaos as a ladder, unquote. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, the life of the law is dynamic. Not everything in the legal profession remains unchanged or unchanging. The pandemic, for example, prompted a radical shift in the use of technology in our courtrooms, and the advent of artificial intelligence brings with it both opportunities but also profound challenges with which the legal profession and the courts are and will continue to grapple. While the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, it is my firm view that the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, cope with and perform under pressure, and deal with each other. An individual who is in need of your services as a lawyer will, in many cases, be an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her life, liberty, property, personal well-being, or health, or family, or financial position. There is therefore a need to deliver legal services not only competently, of course, but always with courtesy, integrity, and sensitivity to the circumstances of the matter. That requires a human being with emotional and not artificial intelligence. The need for human engagement by lawyers with those needing legal assistance is also a powerful reason why there should be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. That very much includes Indigenous lawyers. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates, and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can, and feel that they can, be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community, and in particular a judiciary educated in, knowledgeable about and sensitive to the many different cultural layers and orientations in our community. The admission ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge more than 5 years ago now, including this ceremony, highlights the fact that there is far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and of the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That in turn, as I've explained, builds trust in and respect for not only the judiciary and the legal profession, but ultimately for the rule of law. So now, let me now, late on a Friday afternoon, when there are other things to do, offer you a little bit of professional and personal advice, but not too much. As a lawyer, you'll often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You need to use the tools you've developed to think critically and not to compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice. At various points of your career, you may make mistakes, some minor, maybe some more serious. If we are honest with ourselves, we all make mistakes from time to time, especially when starting off on something new. So when you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. One mistake I always urge young lawyers at these ceremonies not to make is to fall into the trap of giving your clients the advice you think that they want to hear. I can tell you now that will almost certainly not be good advice. Your role as a lawyer is to be independent and courageous in the advice you give. At the end of the day, whoever is your client will be much better served by you giving your genuine, honest advice about their situation, not, as I say, the advice you think they want to hear. Being a lawyer means that you're an advisor, a problem solver, sometimes a mediator, sometimes an advocate, whether you're a barrister or not. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but as I've said, the law as it applies to people's lives. That human engagement extends to your interactions with your professional colleagues, including your opponents, those with whom you negotiate or against whom you litigate. Aspects of the law, especially if you're involved in the litigation side of practice, which is adversarial by its definition, can be confrontational. But the practice of the law is stressful and demanding enough without personal antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as regrettably it sometimes does. So it's essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you're now members of a profession with ethical obligations implied by that status and not a business. Another thing you should remember is that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Now, you may be beginning to wonder about that this far into the speech. But often, I can tell you that less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could also use that reminder from time to time. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible or at best difficult to understand. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, so strive to be clear and concise at all times in both what you say and what you write. To do so ultimately facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are both extremely important. This is something we have a far better and balanced view of these days than 20 years ago. There may, and I dare say will be times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. You must work hard to keep your balance and keep an eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have from time to time, and I dare say still do, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. You should also know and remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And in this context, I'm now going to call on two young representatives, one from the New South Wales Bar and one from the Law Society of New South Wales, to offer a few words of welcome and encouragement. Mr. Hanscom, do you move?
Please the court. My name is Sebastian Hanscom, and on Wednesday next week, I will have been practicing at the bar for exactly 1 year, predominantly in property, construction and environmental matters. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome all of you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old one based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and importantly to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. Indeed, the cohort of new barristers to which I belonged last year had almost an exact split between men and women for the first time. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case a barrister, and I'm proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job and that it allows me to give expert advice and to exercise the very great privilege to represent people in court and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If any of you are interested in coming to the bar, you can, of course, at any time contact the Bar Association, have a look at its website, or attend one of the Career at the Bar open days which are held annually. In your first year of practice at the bar as a reader, you receive particular assistance from 2 barristers of at least 7 years seniority. You are not alone. They're on hand to review your work and teach you practical skills, and perhaps most importantly, to comfort and counsel you in moments of stress, which are inevitable. But the support you receive is not limited to those 2 barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers, and the last 12 years of my life have proven that not to be mere puffery. There are also opportunities to become involved in the work of the New South Wales Bar Association itself, which is the professional body that supports us and has a range of committees, such as the New Barristers Committee, which organises social and educational functions for barristers in their first 5 years of practice, or the Diversity and Equality Committee, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, which is to attract the very best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or any other factor. Whether as a lawyer or a barrister, I encourage all of you to get involved in the Law Society or the Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession, and you should not, as much as possible, be alone. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome all of you to the legal profession, and I congratulate you sincerely on all of you on your admission today as lawyers of this honourable court. So please.
Mr. Chebo, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Asia Chebo, and not so long ago, I stood precisely where you are standing today. And what a day it is. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step of what I personally know to be a very long and arduous journey. For both you and your loved ones, for that matter. Each and every one of you should feel immensely proud to be standing here today. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. It was not always easy, it was often overwhelming, and truth be told, most of the time it still is. But as I stand here today, going into my second year of practice, I can safely say I think I've learnt a thing or two. And one of the most valuable things I've learnt is the importance of belonging to a profession. You simply need to look around the room today to see how diverse the legal profession is. And it is an increasingly large and diverse community at that, and one to which you now belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is home to that community, with over 30,000 members spread across the state. As members of the Law Society, we are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to learning, our drive to give back to the community, and most importantly, our responsibility to uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, I have found that belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. And that is why I've been part of the Law Society of New South Wales Young Lawyers branch for the past 3 years. Here, I have found like-minded peers who've offered guidance, support, and friendship, as well as being fortunate enough to be given opportunities to advocate for impactful change on legal issues facing our society. By joining the Law Society and the New South Wales Young Lawyers, you too will gain access to professional support, a wide range of publications, mentoring, and a connection to the broader legal community. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as newly minted solicitors, have the support and can thrive in your newfound profession. Now, I'm going to keep it short, because as Chief Justice Bell said, less is more, and I'm sure you're all eager to sign the roll and get that money shot outside of Queen Square. So if I could just leave you with one thing to take from today, it would be, that although at times you may lose sight of why you started on this journey, you must remember that in a world full of injustice, you, as officers of the court, now have the platform to be the change that you wish to see in the world. So once again, I congratulate you all on your admission to the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and we look forward to welcoming you all into the Law Society community. May it please the court.
Thank you both for those excellent speeches. Can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, it's challenging and satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer. You should be proud of your achievements to date and proud of the profession you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community. You are now a very important part of that very important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to your community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career thereafter. So on behalf of the Chief Judge, Justice Weinstein, Justice Sweeney, Associate Justice Harrison, and indeed all of our colleagues on the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.